politics and the story of what went on behind closed doors at the White House as President Obama and his advisors look for a resolution to the war in Afghanistan. What was ultimately presented to the public as a carefully crafted consensus was, according to the Washington Post, Bob Woodward, a patchwork compromise that required more than a little aggressive arm twisting by the president himself. Tonight, Diane Sawyer has the exclusive interview with Bob Woodward.
The book is filled with big personalities in big debates. There's Vice President Joe Biden showing up unannounced early one morning as the president comes down the stairs to warn that Afghanistan could lead to another Vietnam.
And the president says, I am not going to sign on to failure. I am not going to be like those other presidents and stick with it because of my ego, my politics, my political security. In other words, Barack Obama says, I'm not going to be Lyndon Johnson. We have to have a plan. We're getting out. We're ending this war.
Shocking detail about private meetings. It's what Woodward has built his career on.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
In that political scandal that ended a presidency, reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein broke the Watergate story and brought the Nixon administration down.
A final wave.
Their secret source, famously known as Deep Throat, their clandestine visits depicted in the film All the President's Men.
I wouldn't quote you even as an anonymous source. I mean, you'd be on deep background.
He's famous for getting people on the inside to talk.
Talk to 100 people, countless documents. You have details of some 40 meetings with the president and his advisors. Were people just eager to talk?
The beginning of the project, one of the president's top advisors said to me, you're not going to find many deep throats around here. And by the end of the process, he was reading his own notes of the top secret meetings.
You do have a heart-pounding description of a brand new president. He gets the briefing about the constellation of terror in the world.
It's a cold shower. Imagine the high of being elected on that Tuesday, and then they come in 2 days later and say, by the way, here are the secrets.
At one point later on, the president is told there are 20 al-Qaeda converts trying to get into the United States.
It's a drumbeat.
But
they're coming, they're planning, they're plotting, they're communicating.
And what is his reaction to that when he gets these briefings?
Well, if you want to play what he told me, I jumped in my chair a little bit when he told me, when he literally said, we can absorb a terrorist attack.
I said very early on, as a senator, and continued to believe as a presidential candidate and now as president, that we can absorb a terrorist attack. We'll do everything we can to prevent it, but even a 9/11, even the biggest attack that ever took place on our soil, we absorbed it and we are stronger.
Did he say it before?
As best I can tell, no. I mean, all the people run around the White House and say we're living on borrowed time in terms of a terrorist attack. And I suspect, consciously, unconsciously, he's laying the groundwork for telling the people we can absorb it, we'll try to prevent it, we're strong, we got over 9/11, but it's not a world of zero defects.
As we know, when it came to decision-making on Afghanistan, 5 blocks of granite, as Woodward called them, stood against the new president.
The meetings. Obama felt, you're writing in a general way too, but Obama felt disrespected and trapped. And at different times, he felt that the military was maneuvering around him. Did they think they could take a young president?
Some of them might have thought that. So you're the president who's supposed to be the decider, who's supposed to have choice, and you've got these blocks of granite out there saying, oh no, you really don't have a choice. This is the way to do it. And he was not happy.
The establishment wanted 40,000 troops, an open-ended commitment. He wanted a plan for a U.S. exit. In the end, he gave 30,000, but still the military kept pushing. The president kept resisting.
He said, I'm not doing 10 years. I am not doing never-ending nation building. I'm not going to spend $1 trillion.
What's the angriest he gets at the military?
At one of the meetings, if I can quote him directly, he just says, I'm pissed. And he is, because they keep coming back about details. And they're trying to push him in that direction, and he's pushing back.
And again, he sits down and he dictates a 6-page document.
To the military.
Ever before done,
Not
to your
that-
knowledge, in
not that
American
I can
history?
tell.
When someone says to him, if you do this, it will become your war, he says,
It already is.
and why Obama's war? Why not Obama's health care? Why not one of the other topics that will go down as with his stamp on it, his name on it?
Well, the wars are going to go down with his name on it. He spends countless hours on it. It's a weight on his shoulders. He writes a letter to the family of anyone who dies. And you can't do that week after week and not realize that this is your choice, your war.
Fascinating insights. Our thanks to Diane Sawyer. Bob Woodward's book, Obama's Wars, is in stores now.